Okay, I am recording. All right, we'll make a start, and then if people turn up late, they can catch up on the recording afterwards. So this is an introduction to creating items for primarily Petit Ruth and Roth, but actually potentially other Petites as well. Okay. When we're talking about Petites, we're talking about very tiny avatars like us sat here. Ruth and Roth are 0.4 size scale compared to the standard avatar, and are considered petites, which is a term that have been used for these size of avatars way before tiny boobies came along on standard avatars and coined the same term. So Petit Ruth and Roth, if you're not aware, they're the little petite avatars that from Jinx. Okay. They're based on open source avatars, Ruth 2.0 and Roth 2.0. I made the decision to use those because, and Petit Ruth has been around for a couple of years now, because I thought it would make it a lot easier for people to make clothes for them, because essentially anyone could go and get the files and scale to 0.4. However, I was forgetting that not everyone knows how to download files like that and how to set up Blender ready to make clothes. So I have now provided a simple Blender dev kit, which is included in the Ruth and Roth packages. But before we start talking about mesh, I would like to spend a moment thinking about how clothes and accessories can be made for these avatars. It's not all about mesh. Okay. Can you all hear me? Faith arrived. Is Faith, can you hear voice, Faith? Excellent. Good, good. Wonderful. So both Ruth and Roth have the standard SLUVs. So bomb clothing or system clothing can be used with them. Those of us who have been here from before circa 2010 and don't keep their inventories tidy will be delighted that they'll be able to bring out all their old outfits. Yeah, exactly, me too. Some of which were really actually very beautifully painted. So I've been delighted that I didn't throw them away. Like I don't throw anything away. And of course, we can use some of the older clothes that have been made, but things like flexi prims, which do actually make the most wonderful feathers. But flexi prims are actually very resource hungry and not very kind to Second Life. You can still use the old Sculpties, but again, they're not really optimized. And of course, there's mesh clothing and accessories, which, like standard avatars, can be rigged or non-rigged. Okay. So first of all, I think what I'd like us to think about, because some of you may have used them or been aware of using them, and some of you may not, and that is templates. Who here has used templates or know what they are even? Yay, Doris raises a paw. Okay, Faith knows what they are. Know of them but haven't reused them. Don't know how to use them. Great, 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 great. You're going to learn something exciting today then. So if you're not feeling confident enough yet to create your own clothes, you can still be super creative and make clothes using full perm templates. Okay. Now, before I learned to use Blender, and if any of you remember, you might or might not remember Jinx sort of pre 2015-ish, 16, I used templates before I could make clothes in Blender. And actually you can make some really cool outfits with templates. And there are some really great full plum template makers in SL. And I used to buy various templates from different people and put them together in different outfits. And so what I was selling was something quite unique because I'd put together lots of different parts from different places. Okay. I've even used recently templates to make clothes for the Petites because frankly, I'm not a clothes maker. And I wanted to provide some clothes for Petit Ruth and Roth quickly for you all without having the luxury of time to create those things myself. So some of the things that are in the Jinx store are actually templates. Now, templates, okay, come as both system layers and mesh. Okay, so really importantly, full perm templates usually have licenses, okay, with terms and conditions that you agree to abide by if you purchase them, which often includes not selling them full perm. Okay, so you have to either sell them copy or trans. And also quite often they'll enforce a minimum price that you sell them for so that it helps with competition. Okay, it doesn't kill the competition. So it's always best to check terms and conditions when you buy any template. Okay. So let's think about system layer templates. System layers can, of course, be used on any size of avatar, as long as they have the standard Second Life UV. So if you buy some templates, okay, to make some clothes, you can, of course, use them or sell them for all sizes of avatars that have the SL UV. Okay. For those of you that don't know what a UV is, okay, it's the map that makes your avatar a little bit like a 2D. So you could actually draw your outfit. Kind of makes sense when you see how to create these things and then how they look on your 3D avatar. Okay. Sometimes system layer templates come with coloring and textures included, and often they come with Photoshop files, which you can use in GIMP. Okay, so you don't have to use Photoshop if you can't afford it or you don't like it, you can use GIMP. I actually use GIMP an awful lot just because I'm used to it and I've used it for years. I also use Photoshop when I have to, but I prefer GIMP. And sometimes you would paint them yourself and the template just provides the basics like creases and wrinkles and buttons and things. So whatever you feel most confident with. All right. So I'm going to show you a few examples that I went and found on the marketplace earlier. That doesn't look like the one I wanted. Let me just have a look at that a minute. Oh, it's a store. Yeah, it is. Okay. So hang on. I went and had a little looky around. So there is a store. Have a little quick look at that. Now, this person sells mesh templates and system layer templates, okay? Let's ignore the mesh ones for a moment, all right? We'll come back to those later. But if you go to, you've opened that page, on the left-hand side in the categories, if you go to building and object components and then textures, you will see all these wonderful, very beautiful system layer clothes. Yes, exactly. So you could get those. They're not massively expensive, okay? And you would create an item of clothing in Second Life, in World, okay, and apply those textures to it, and you could sell them. It's like done, and there's some really pretty things there. And if you click on one of the products, you'll see that she offers, I think, the PSD files, which is Photoshop. Okay. She offers the files in world as well, so that you don't even have to upload them if you don't want to change them. Okay. And look, she even gives, oh no, that's an Amiga applier instructions. But if you scroll down, you can see that she gives you some terms and conditions as well. Okay, so it says buying my templates, you're agreeing to the following terms. You cannot resell with full perms. The same applies for giving away or sharing. So you literally cannot give, or you can't give them away or sell them with the same full perms. You have to take off, transfer, or copy. You may set the price at your store for at least 100 lindens to use the top and bottom templates. Hi, Mary. Can somebody let Mary know that we're on? Oh, she's got voice. It's fine. I see the white dot. And she's very explicit with how much you can charge. So like if you're only using the top or bottom, then you have to charge this. For fat packs, you can charge that. Do not set as a gift. Okay, and most full perm people will say that only you have the rights to use this. You can't transfer it to somebody else, even if it's an alt. Okay. So those are quite typical terms and conditions, and it's not unreasonable, yeah, that it gives you those. It's all right, Mary. We're glad you made it. Mary, we were just having a look at this seller in Marketplace who sells some wonderful system layers templates. So you can see that you could very easily make some pretty things with her stuff. Now I've got another one. There's another one to go and have a look at. And again, I don't think she's got hers all in the textures bit. I can't remember. I think if you just scroll down on her shop, you'll start to see, you'll start to see them down the bottom. And I've actually used some of these and they're quite cute. So down towards the bottom. Yes, if they specify body types for system layers, then generally it's going to fit. Okay. I think things like hands and stuff might be different, but honestly, I think they're just using the SLUV. But I think they're just saying, look, I used this to model them, because of course, if you were making them for something like of standard size avatars, if you were making them for something like Cupra, or some of the furry avatars, or even Reborn or Erica, those are quite extreme shaped standard avatars. So if somebody and their UVs, you do have to slightly adjust them for those, otherwise they just look stretched. So I think if somebody's saying Maitreya, it's a kind of fairly standard SLUV. Okay, but there's some really cute things in there, and I can actually show you. I bought a long time ago, long time ago, this one, and let me just show you it. Let me stand up. I'll just change into it. Hang on. She scrolls through her many outfits. Okay, so let it just res. And so you can see, let me just turn off my AO so I'm still. Oh, terrible happened to my hands. There we go. You can see there. that I coloured it from the original template, which was just simply white. And it's quite a cute little one. So that one was for that last creator that we looked at on Marketplace. Has it all resed for you? Can you all see it?
Yep.
Good, good. Okay.
Yes.
So that was kind of like they'd put the sort of bits and pieces. I mean, I would say that was like sort of halfway between just the basics and a fully detailed, because there was no color or anything like that, but they had put the details on there, like the hearts and the bows and the edging and stitching and stuff. So I'd say it's like halfway between, really. You can get more detailed templates straight out of the bag, as you saw in the other creator. Okay. And if anybody's seen the Roth avatar, I included some system clothes in there. And I think, hang on, let me just going to show you, just check it first. Yeah, right, have a look at this one. So that was from it's actually from a shop called Underground, and they make loads and loads of system templates and also mesh templates. Okay, they're really good. Okay, so let me show you Roth in that outfit. Ooh. Doink. Just let him res. So you can see on this outfit that there's quite a lot of detail, and they actually coloured it black already, and it came with a brown version and a grayscale version. So I could have made a pink version if I'd wanted to. Now, of course, the only thing with this is that if you buy something like this, the chances are that somebody else has also bought it and sold it. Okay, so that's the one perhaps limitation of using templates, is that quite often many other people have also bought those templates and are also selling the same products as you. Okay, but that's when your creativity in marketing can play a role. Okay, because, for instance, if you're aiming them at petites and you put your advertising in the petite group, or you put a store in a petite marketplace, things like that, then you're going to appeal to your market. Whereas if somebody was selling, say, this outfit for a full-sized avatar and they were marketing it in those areas, they're less likely to sell it to petites, for example. Okay. So it's just thinking about that as well. But you can see that actually already, without knowing how to make anything mesh or how to use Blender or anything like that, you can actually make some clothes for both Ruth and Roth by adding some creative texturing or colouring to bought templates. Okay, super simple. You can, of course, if you're super talented and creative, draw these system layers from scratch in Photoshop or GIMP. The standard Second Life UVs are available to download from the late Robin Wood's website. Okay, and she did a wonderful job on these because she coloured them so that it's really much easier to map them and things like that. So you can just download the UVs like that, and that will help you to create clothes. Okay, and back in the day, before mesh or anything, that's what I did, sort of circa 2009. I made quite disgusting sometimes. Clothing using these SLUVs. Are there any questions so far about the template, like the system layer side of things? If you are looking for those on Marketplace, you have to be a bit creative what you're searching for, okay? I find that if you go to building an object components and then textures, you might find quite a few in there. But you might want to, because there's clothing textures then in that. Yay, Mary. Wonderful. But sometimes I find them hidden in the most weird places, like just in the apparel category or in weird categories. And in a way, I was kind of pleased when I found one in some weird place on Marketplace, because I thought less people will have found it. So I was like, yay, I found a really cool little template hidden away where nobody's going to find it. Yes, quite. Okay, so that's the first like super easy how to make clothes for petites. Now, the next bit becomes a little bit more complex, okay, because you would need to have some experience of Blender for the next bit, which is mesh templates. Okay, so just like you can buy system templates, you can also buy mesh templates. Okay, some mesh templates are for in-world use only, and they provide you with in-world models that you then texture. These are not the type that we want to think of using templates for petites unless they've actually been fitted for the petite. Okay. So for example, hang on, let me change. Quick change. Wardrobe. Okay, these little jeans, which I haven't released yet, I made from scratch, and I'm going to release them as full perm. And I'm going to release some more full perm templates that are absolutely fitted for Petit Ruth, okay? And all you need to do is color them, okay? So there's an example. But for the most part, when you're looking at templates for full-sized avatars, they are going to be that are going to only be used in world. Okay, they are usually going to be rigged and fitted to full-size avatars, and they won't be usable for petites. Okay, however, some templates come with day files. Okay, and these are the types of templates that are most useful for petites. Okay, they are usually more expensive than the in-world only template, so bear that in mind. But when a template includes the days, you can, yes, Faith, go for it. Please do ask your question. I'll keep talking until you put it there. Okay. Oh, there we go. It does. Maybe it's just my shape. Or maybe it's because I've been changing outfits. I don't know, maybe look from the side or something. I think it's all right on mine. So if you have the days, okay, now, okay, I am going to get a little bit techie on you because I know that some of you won't have any experience working with mesh. Okay. A day file, okay, a bit like if you make a word processing document, it's a Word file, yeah, or doc file. Days are what we upload as a mesh file into Second Life. So if some of these templates provide day files, you can actually download the day files, import them into Blender. You can resize them and re-rig them to the Petite using the dev kit. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, okay. No, I don't see that on my viewer. It's probably because I've been changing outfits. Sorry. Yes, it's made my boobies weird. Okay. So yeah, so you can import the days into Blender. You can resize them and remember to 0.4. So it's not even like you have to sort of go, oh, but what size? It's like you literally scale it to 0.4. You might then need to just tweak it around to make it fit the Ruth or Roth body. And then you might need to do some little weights and things, okay? Weight changes. And again, these are technical things, so you would need to know what I'm talking about in order to be able to do them, okay? But what it means is that you don't have to have the skill to make the actual clothes, and actually resizing something and refitting it and rigging it to a small, you know, to Ruth or Roth, once you know how to do it, is fairly easy. So you can then technically go and buy these full perm meshes. Note they would be rigged. They're usually rigged. The days are usually already rigged, but you might need to just sort of tweak the weights around. Okay. Because they're rigged to like Maitreya or something. Okay. So you would pull in like the Maitreya, resize it to 0.4, refit it, just play around a little bit and make sure that it's not poking out anywhere. And don't forget, they're never perfect. So that's why we have alpha layers. Okay. But it's totally possible to do that. Now I've put a link into the chat there. Okay. And that's an example of one of these full perm meshes, and they're providing the day files just so that you know what to look for. Okay, so you can see here that it says included in the product box. They usually give you the mesh for in world as well. Okay, that's not well, you can of course sell that for biggies. Okay, and look how many bodies they fitted it to, like hundreds. And they also provide you with an instant download link. Okay, and that is for the day. All right, and it says in the title there that it's got the day included. And then if you scroll down, you can also see their terms, okay, or a link to their terms for things like that. I've got a couple more examples for you. There's another example where this one you can see they've got no textures available. So you're literally got a blank canvas and you paint it, you put your textures on it and your color, but you've got the mesh. Okay. And again, you can see here, PSD and day. So they've provided a Photoshop file for you that you can use with all the shadows and stuff. And again, if you scroll down, it says day and PSD file downloading URL included in the note card. All right. Now I made some clothes for Roth again using these types of templates. Let me just show you another one before I show you that. So there's another one there. So just so you can see what it is that you're looking for if you're getting these, okay? And again, this one doesn't say day in the title, but it says full version. And if you scroll down, it says full version contains day, OBJ, you don't need to worry about that, and PSD file download links, okay? So that jacket she's wearing, you could resize it to fit petites, okay? Let me see. Yes, Kimi. Go for it whilst I'm getting changed again. Would an yes, but I'm not sure what you'd apply it to. So which pants? Oh, the ones that I'm going to sell full perm. Oh, yes, right. Okay, now I'm with you. Right. Sorry, I misunderstood. I was thinking that you can't put them on a centaur. Okay. So yes, you could but you'd have to like make a fat pack type thing. Do you know what I mean? So you would sell the trousers, but you couldn't sell them like, well, I suppose you could sell them blank, but you'd sell them like, say, like with one texture, and then you could sell appliers for that as well. But yeah, like a texture changer HUD. But rather than, like what you're saying is like I or Sin sell the mesh and you sell the appliers. In this case, you would sell the mesh. Okay. So you would sell the mesh and you could apply whatever colors you want to it. So you know as well as I do, when you go shopping, some people sell like a pair of trousers and you can only buy it in blue or pink or green, or you might buy a pair of trousers and it's got a dozen colors in a texture HUD. So that's how you would package it. Okay, and you would sell the trousers with the texture HUD. Does that make sense now? Awesome. Let me find my Tom outfit. God, when people watch this video back, Mew, are you here and can you hear? Yes. Sorry, I haven't answered your question yet. The answer is yes, because I'm recording it. Oh, Arwen's here. Hello. Right, let's see if this works. Yes. Why is his other leg not resing in? I'm sure it will in a minute, she says confidently. Okay, there we go. Right, if it's resing in for you, I have just put trousers and a top onto my Roth. Okay, these were indeed a template from Underground designed for full-size avatars, but I bought the pack that provided the day file, and so I could download them, scale them, just tweak a bit, make sure they fit him nicely, and re-upload them, and there they are, now fitted to Roth. Yes. And yeah, okay, if I'd sat and kind of, if I'd had the time, yes, I can sit and make these things myself, but like, I don't have the time. I'm making other stuff. So, and everybody was asking for clothes. So it's like, oh, okay, this is easier. It's quicker. So like, yeah, do it. Sometimes, hello, Bluebell. My dog is harassing me. Sorry, I just need to say hello to her. Sometimes you can actually buy limited edition templates. And there's like only 10 to 15 copies that'll ever be sold. Usually they're very much more expensive, obviously, but they would be less commonly seen out on the market. So I've bought a few of these in the past, and I've paid 15,000 lindens sometimes. I think maybe 20,000 lindens, but then there was like only 5 copies ever sold in Second Life. So 5 people only ever had those templates. So, you know, it's almost like they're sort of semi-original, even though I didn't make them. A little word of warning, okay? When you buy a day template, okay, I recommend that you download the day as soon as you get them, all right? So even if you're not going to use them, all right? Yes, absolutely. There are some cheapies, especially like Melia Marco. They sell days for like maybe, oh, actually, her Daisy about like 1,500 to 2,000, but they're not limited edition. So I bought some limited edition templates a long time ago, okay, and paid like, you know, 12 to 15K for them because they were limited edition. I think there was like only 10 ever sold. But it was back when I didn't know how to make anything. I didn't know how to use Blender. So I just used the in-world models, right? And never downloaded the day. And when I went to download the day more sort of recently, thinking, oh, you know what, I'm going to download it and use it for the Petites. The link was broken and the creator had left SL. Boo! Ooh. Yeah, so I had these most amazing, beautiful dresses that I could have made for for Petites, and they've gone. And of course, you know, you're going to lose your money then, and no way of getting them. So, you will, of course, need to have some knowledge of using Blender to use those templates, like I said. You'll need to be able to basically resize the models to 0.4, fit them to the dev kit model, and also often you'll need to just tweak the weights, okay? If you have the skills to do these things already, then you might find that actually you just want to make your own items from scratch rather than using templates. But like I said, it's about how much time you have. You might decide to do a combination of both as your skills improve. You know, I tend to use templates for clothing when I'm short on time. Okay. A couple more words of warning about full perm templates. Okay. I recommend that you find a few reputable full perm template vendors and work with their products. I've shown you some today. Okay. There are people who steal mesh from the grid using illegal download methods and then sell them as full perm on the marketplace. Okay. If it's not an established business or it looks too good to be true, it is possibly stolen content, and you could be challenged and punished for selling those items if you buy them full perm. Okay, so at best the items might be removed from the asset database, okay, and you will have wasted your money, and your customers may also lose their items that you sold to them, leaving you to deal with that. Which is what's probably worse is that you could be outed publicly, shamed, called a thief, okay, reported to Linden Lab, you know, pulled through the bushes on social media, all the horrid things that you don't want to happen. Yes, that's why you sometimes find stuff missing, Faith. Sometimes it's just because, you know, bugs and stuff. But yeah, quite often things like animations, you'll find that when you try to play them, if they're stolen, they don't do anything. They just don't do anything anymore. Or they've been deleted by Linden Lab from the asset database because they were stolen. So, you know, like I say, if it's like a 2-day-old avatar, or they look like they've got a whole load of stuff from Blueberry, don't bloody buy it. Yeah. So creating the next step above that, is there any questions about using templates, mesh templates, or system templates? Nope. Can you see how, like, with a few skills, just a few skills, Blender skills, you could actually be selling mesh clothes for Petites? You don't have to have all the skills, but just a few. Okay. Of course, the next step up, which we won't spend that much time on, is creating mesh clothes and accessories from scratch. Okay. Maybe that you've already made clothes and accessories for standard size avatars. And then, of course, you can do the same with your own stuff as you could with templates and resize to 0.4, fit and adjust weights to the Ruth Roth dev kit models. Okay. If you're new to the idea of working with mesh, there are various softwares available to you to make mesh, the most popular being Blender and Maya. Blender is open source, so there's no fee, and Maya is not open source, and there is a fee, closely followed by 3D Max probably. But Blender and Maya are the main two, okay? This Petite class certainly, and any probably future Petite classes won't necessarily be showing you how to use 3D softwares from scratch, okay? So you'll either have to have a basic knowledge already, or if you are in Kyron's family or Chiron's family, ha ha, those of you who know the Chiron joke, if you're in Chiron's family, then there are classes already available, recorded from me, in how to use Blender and how to do basic rigging and make mesh. Okay, if you want to join Chiron's family, it's like a loyalty group, and Millie, I think you should probably be in there. Yeah, so we'll get you in there. So did I just paste the link? I did, didn't I? Yes, that's how to find out information for that. If you don't qualify to join, then I'm happy for people to pay to join the classes. So if you're like, I don't qualify, but I want to come to class, or I want, you know, I don't want to wait 6 months of renting here to come to class. I want to come to class now, or I want to see the classes that are already there. Then, you know, we'll chat, and I'm happy for people to pay to access those if you don't qualify to join Chiron's family. Okay. I think that's kind of it for today. Questions? Any? Was this helpful? Did it give you some ideas? Are you all going to go looking for templates on on Marketplace? You know, and it's like, you know, you don't have to use mesh because these avatars work great with BOM. I mean, but look at BOM has allowed us to use all our system layers again, you know, and there's some great templates. Yeah, well, you know, people will be making mesh clothing, so there will be more available. Let me find the underground. Oh, I better check that it's the latest. Oh yeah. It might not be the latest landmark. Let me have a look in my teleport history. Yeah, I'm gonna put the slurl instead of the landmark, because any landmarks that are in my inventory could be 100 years old. So this, okay, Underground, they are an excellent template provider. If you go there, you're going to get so excited. For full biggie stuff as well. I mean, the biggie stuff is amazing, okay? But also they have loads of system layer templates. You will see some that you recognize from the petite section in Jinx, like can't remember what they're called now, but you'll recognize them, okay? Yeah, is that them online? They've got several, it's like several creators for Underground. And so that one is just one of the creators, okay? So it's best to go to the store to see it all. And yes, there's hair as well. And of course, if you get hair that has day files, then you can also resize and rig it for the petites. Like my boobs might get deformed again now because I'm changing back to Ruth. But this hair I haven't released yet. This hair was a template that I have the day files for, so I resized it for her. So I'll release that at some point. Yeah, it's super cute. And if you're thinking, oh, but how would I paint the hair on? You can actually get textures for hair as well. So you can go and buy the textures separately, and actually it'll have all different hair colors and things. Or you can have a go at making them yourself, of course. But you know, it's like start easy and then push yourself to improve your own skills. Exactly. Good. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop recording